Our heroes have successfully started Ragnarok, the apocalypse, the end of worlds. What will the fallout be? Before they find out, there is an important task to undertake, one that might help a certain Skyon understand her role in her greater destiny. Shall we find out what will happen? Hello everyone, and welcome to A Rendezvous with Destiny, a Skyon actual play podcast. As ever, I am your GM Luce, and with me today I have...
Hi, I'm Graham. I play the character of Elspeth Lockwood, the Guardian of Balder, who is surprisingly pleased to have started the apocalypse, which is not something you get to say very often, I think. But I think we did the right thing by starting the end of all worlds, so you know.
Hi, I'm Will. I play Cleo, a hunter of past, and the weather's really warm at the moment, so I'm sat next to a fan, but my microphone is such low sensitivity you can't pick it up, so I am in icy serenity at the moment.
Hi, my name is Am, and I play Flora, Watson, daughter, and chosen of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. I am also very hot, but because I am in a new flat, which is on a main road, I have to keep my window shut, and I am slowly dying. Instead of me thinking about slowly dying, I am thinking of questions, dear listeners. Questions to ask my fellow players and our GM. Because in a few episodes, we will be having our Q&A. We did one at the end of Season 1 when a lot of you weren't aware of us as of yet. And so we submitted quite a few of the questions ourselves. But hopefully, we will have lots of questions from all of you. Do any of you guys have any specific questions for Luce? Obviously, she can't reveal anything yet, but, you know, just play in the field thinking, what do we all have to talk about?
What was good last time is that we, brought questions for Luce in, Season 1, and why don't we do that again?
Yes, definitely. Bring your questions
right
as well.
now?
For the episode.
Well, no, if you ask them now, I'm not going to answer.
Oh no.
What if we ask really nicely?
Really vague ones, maybe.
Well, if you ask me very nicely, I might give you a vague and ominous answer.
But that's worse.
What if one of the pitfalls I think of playing over the internet is that you can't bring the DM snacks or alcohol and bribe them. So
Does that work on Luce, though?
Yes.
It absolutely does.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, I do have an actual question, which is inspired by what Am just commented there. Luce, we all started playing together in person at first when we were at university. Obviously, this game has been conducted in its entirety, over Discord and over voice chat. If we were playing in person and recording it in person, is there anything you change about the game? And if so, what?
Oh, good question.
Ooh, I think if we were playing in person, might do a bit more... might actually make maps and things. So combat might go a little more smoothly.
What a concept, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
But that's sort of the only change I'd make, yes?
I have another question for Luce, and then I think Graham can ask Luce a question, and Luce can ask all us a question.
Oh, yeah.
And my question for Luce is that, again, based on what Will said, you've known us for quite a long time in our young lives. Actually, wait, what year is it?
2 years.
So you've known, you've known me. You've known me for 3 years.
Yeah.
So nearly, which is maths-wise about a seventh of my life, which is whack. Anyway, my question is,
Graham, we've
Yes,
known each
hi.
other since 2015.
Oh god. Oh no. I
That's
feel
nearly 10
so
years.
old now.
Anyway, Luce, my question is, have any of us
That's
surprised...
not 10 years.
It's closer to 10 years than it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
In 2 years, it'll be 10 years.
No.
But 2015, 2025. Okay, so it's 2021. Sorry, I got bad at maths. In 4 years, it'll be 10 years. Listen, I've had a very long day and
That's
it's
fine.
so warm.
That's
I'm
fair.
like a troll in the Terry Pratchett universe. The
This is
warmer
not
it is, the
bath
stupider
temperature.
I get.
I don't want to hurry you, my love,
Sorry.
but it's 8:15
Yes.
and we've got to record 2 episodes today, and this question's been about 10 minutes. So
Sorry. My question was, have any of us surprised or significantly developed as role players? And if so, how would you describe that?
oh.
I don't think anyone's surprised me. I think, but I don't think I don't know if it's surprising, but I'm just really enjoying how all your characters interact, especially now you've been together for a little while. Especially everything that came out with sort of Cleo in the last episode that we're going to start digging into a bit more. I found that very interesting.
So good.
So juicy. There's so much I can do.
Thank you. Graham, you have the floor.
Gosh. You've really put me on the spot here.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. You know me, I'm not good at improvisation.
We've been playing TTRPG for like a year and a half now, dude.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that you think you'd be good at, but as soon as there's pressure, you're not. I suppose that's a good question for Luce, really, is have you felt moments in the campaign where you felt pressure to get certain story aspects just right? Or because I know you'd like to sort of just kind of go with the flow quite a lot, but were there certain turning points, this is potentially spoilery, you don't have to answer it, that you wanted to get just right?
I don't think there's but there's a couple that I'm not going to talk about because they sort of come back into play. But there's some things I've definitely wanted to get right, especially sort of everything with Loki, especially what's happened in the last couple of episodes. I wanted to hit the right balance with that, which I think I have done. People could let me know, but cause obviously there's some because the story is, there are darker aspects to it, but I am trying to keep that balance between exploring those darker aspects but not making the podcast really depressing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's going to be fun to listen to.
I think we can all be quite morose people, but also quite light-hearted people, and finding that balance is challenging.
You've hit a good stride with that character where I think
Absolutely.
people, certainly us as a cast, we feel invested in that character's journey, but also there are light-hearted moments. I mean, let us know, listeners, what you think.
I'm just thinking of how Am is going to have to like try to cut this vague rambling and us just talking together into some sort of like structure.
There's such little
It's
faith in
gonna
our
be-
talking, Will.
Hey, no structure is the best structure.
Right? Enjoy it.
Luce, we have maybe 3 minutes for you to ask us all a question if you would like to.
Ooh, I might leave my question to the Q&A because I've got to really think about this.
Ooh,
Now that sounds
it's
threatening.
exciting.
Uh-oh.
It is. Everything they say is threatening.
Of course it is. I'm in control of your fates.
Whenever you're ready, my dear.
So, as we left our ladies last time, they had freed Fenrir. They had started Ragnarok, the apocalypse. And certain things sort of fell out from this. There are certain tasks that must be undertaken. But first, before Flora can deliver her box, her envelope, her message to Sobek, we're going somewhere else first, and Cleo's in charge of what we're doing.
What?
So, what are you all doing now? Yeah, Cleo, you said something to Loki at the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is new. Okay.
I mean, everyone apart from Loki and Cleo would be asleep, right?
Yep. So Cleo, Loki's still sat opposite side of the campfire. Sat with you. Everyone else is still fast asleep. You've just sort of revealed the fact that you want to go and check on your family, and Loki has said that they will take you there. So what are you doing?
I'm not sure. Like they were just having that conversation. So sort of Cleo's just sat like leaning against, leaning just with her back, just staring out like into the middle distance, sort of thinking about her family over and over.
Loki puts their hand on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say anything, but you know that they understand families in a way that maybe some of the others might not be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've got quite complicated things happening. But you just put your hand on your shoulder, sort of don't say anything, just stare off into the middle distance with you. But you feel a sense of comfort, and Empress is there, leans into your side a little bit, just makes herself known.
Yeah, I'm gonna scratch her behind the ears, sort of just absent-mindedly at this point.
She sort of wiggles a bit and settles in a bit further.
Oh, lovely, yeah. I wonder, who you really are. I'm just gonna say that to Empress, because I've never met a cat quite like you.
She sort of does a thing where her head goes to one side, almost at a weird 90-degree angle, the thing that cats do, and it looks quite weird.
Uh-huh.
She does that, and her eyes the pupils sort of dilate a little bit, and she just slow blinks at you.
Cleo, feeling a bit stupid, is going to slow blink back because she's heard you meant to do that with cats.
As you do that, Empress sort of wiggles again, sort of looks around a little bit, seems to come to a decision, claws her way up your side, and sort of settles herself in across your shoulders.
Okay.
So if you don't do anything else on your watch, everyone else eventually wakes up. You will feel quite rested, even though you still don't really know how long you've been asleep in this place, but you all do feel quite rested. Everyone wakes up sort of slowly, but everyone's there, everyone is now awake. Loki has magicked themselves a little, almost like, a baby papoose?
Yes.
One of those, and Fenrir is in it.
Very good.
How big is Fenrir? Remind me.
Fenrir, when you first saw him, he was huge, but he's now sort of roughly like Labrador puppy sized.
Okay, very cute. Very cute.
He's and thinking back to when you saw him, even though he was massive, he was still very much a puppy.
Nice.
So you just understand, when he actually grows, he's going to be huge. You can see why he might, be instrumental in an apocalypse. But he is currently sort of slightly in like a papoose, sort of looking out, like tongue lolling out the side of his mouth, just seeming very happy.
I'd like to go over to Papoose Fenrir and extend my hand out and then be like, sorry, can I, is he friendly? Can I say hi?
Loki sort of laughs quite silently, just giggles a little bit to themselves. Fenrir sees your hand approaching, leans forward, head bonks you on the hand because he's
hello.
give me ear scritches.
Oh, hello, okay, yes.
And as you do, again, it's that feeling, he's not talking to you, but there's this feeling of another mind touching yours.
Oh, you're
and there's no words. There's no words, but there's a feeling of thank you, and this is nice.
Oh. Well, good to see you're feeling better. So, does he just change size all the time, Mr. Loki? Or, is that controllable? Because it's very hard to believe that this little guy is gonna, end the world imminently.
He can change size, yes. I think
assume it... Sorry, go on.
for the moment you feel safer like this.
I assume it is like an imminent thing, though, right? Like, how long do we have to wait? Do we have time?
There is some time. This was started chain reaction, but that chain reaction might take a while to, actually kick off.
Right.
I'd say we've got at least a couple of days, if not a couple of weeks, before things go completely to hell in a handbasket.
So when you were going to say, like, I think we've got some time, I thought you were going to say, like, a few years, and then you said, like, 2 days.
Oh, sorry. No.
No, it's fine.
We do have a little bit of time, and also, you know what? As things go, we're doing well.
Okay.
So that's a thumbs up.
Like how?
Like, got 75% of the way through.
There's
Normally
there's a chart.
don't get. It's in my brain. Not sure how accurate it really
Brain
is.
chart.
Brain chart,
Nice.
indeed. Think of lots of bar graphs going on. But
sorry to
I'd
interrupt
say-
this meeting of the minds.
yes.
I understand we have a few days. I need to finish this errand for my dad. So is that our next stop, or what's the
I think
sitch?
we're stopping off somewhere else first, but then yes, we'll go find the crocodile.
Okay, sounds good. I'm all for it, Chief. Where to next?
Okay.
Cleo,
just
where
what-
are we headed?
Okay. Where are we headed? I don't know. Is there like a portal somewhere, or?
Well, I can take us to the closest portal, but you're the one deciding where it goes.
I don't really understand what you're asking, Luce.
Where does your mum live?
Right. Okay. Okay. So sorry. Just for clarity, what like Cleo just meant that like last time she just meant like she wanted to make sure her parents were fine. Like she didn't mean she actually wanted to go and visit them.
I'm aware. Loki took it in a completely different way.
Right. Okay. I was just making sure you hadn't taken it in the wrong
No,
way as well.
I knew what Cleo meant. I did a roll for Loki, and they you know what, rolled quite badly. So they thought, oh, Cleo wants to go see their
Okay.
mum.
Yeah. So where do you want to take us then, Loki? You're the person that's usually got the plan, right?
So once again, they put their hand on your shoulder, and I'm going to ask you to give me a roll. I've just got to figure out what I want this roll to be.
Yep.
I feel like we should have that on a t-shirt.
What? Which one? A roll or figure
Cleo
out what the roll's
also like
Figure out what the roll is going to be.
Cleo also like reflexively shrugs the hand off still.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll Presence Occult.
Okay.
You have presents, right?
I've got presents. Yeah, I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I've literally have 0 occult.
Nice.
That would be a 1 success.
Okay, Loki did beat you. So where does your mum live?
Yeah, just she lives like southeast Detroit.
Okay, so as you shrug their hand off, you're not sure, but you felt like maybe they were reading something.
Very cool.
So then they look around, give Fenrir a little scritch on his head. He sort of wiggles, and they start to lead you back down this. So you walked quite a way down this branch of the tree, and you can see off in the distance sort of like the branching ends. They spin you round and take you back towards the trunk of Yggdrasil. and you're walking for a while. As you're walking up in the distance, you can see a giant squirrel.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, nice. As we're walking, I just want to fall into step next to Flora and just be like, "Hey, you sleep all right?"
Yeah, I slept fine. I had a weird dream about a unicorn eating people, but I doubt that means anything. Why do you ask?
You know, just checking in.
Oh, thank you.
If we're going somewhere new and if it's Loki's idea, you know, I want to make sure everyone's in the shape to look after themselves, you know?
Oh, thanks, Cleo. How are you doing? Did you have a good chat earlier?
Have you ever had a good chat with them?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if we met in a regular situation, we could come up with some really good pranks.
Sorry. I was just reminded that you are like an adult, right?
You'd be the first to see that, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, not to get too real, but I had to be a grown-up really when I was a little kid a lot, so it's kind of nice to goof off every now and then.
Yeah, you said not to get too real. When does that bit start?
Oh, never.
And I'm just gonna lightly sort of punch you in the arm and kind of like just jog ahead to the front of the group again.
Oh,
Flora is delighted.
Cleo's growing.
Okay.
Does anyone else wish to have any interactions? Does anyone want to talk to anyone while you're walking down the branch before we move on to the next thing?
After Cleo does that, Flora turns back just because Elspeth seems like the type of the person to walk at the back of the group. And just does like the okay scuba diving symbol to Elspeth.
She kind of looks back at you, like, takes a second to register what's going on, and then hits a very awkward okay scuba diving signal back.
Cool.
With a slightly quizzical face.
Flora like thumb gestures back to Cleo and does the okay symbol again.
Like a slow dawning of realization and a slow nod.
Cool.
Very nice. Just before we move on, anyone can roll this if they want to, but specifically Flora.
Oh,
but
God.
anyone can roll this if they want to. Can you roll me intellect, empathy?
Okay.
Anyone who wants to
okay.
can roll, but intellect, empathy.
Can you give
Does
us...
this work on...
I'm gonna roll
Timaki?
1d10 because it's fun.
Can you give
Does
us...
this work on...
Sorry,
Oh, sorry,
you go first because it's your roll. You go on.
I was gonna say, does this add on to my people in need
Yes.
skill?
Yes, it would.
Hmm?
It would, yes.
Okay, it would. Brilliant. So I
And
guess.
Gren?
My question was, can you give me any hint as to what this is about so I know whether Elspeth would be looking for it or not?
It has, is
As big as you
Elspeth
like.
actively, is Elspeth just in her own world, or is she actually looking around at the other people
She's
in the party?
looking around, but she's looking around at like what's happening on the tree more than what's happening with everyone else. She's still very fascinated by like how this all works.
Okay, in that case, it's up to you. So this is specifically about someone.
No, probably not then. She's
Then
not that
you don't need
good
to
at
roll.
that.
This is 4 successes for Am, and I'm worried it's about Fred.
So 4 successes. Cleo, did you roll? Did you get anything? Well,
No. I rolled a 2 on my 1d10
nice.
that I roll for empathy and intelligence.
Cleo, you're
Oh,
very
Cleo.
much sort of still thinking about the conversation you had with Loki and thinking about sort of family and sort of thinking about them rather than paying any attention. Elspeth, you're just still in awe of this place. It's bonkers. It doesn't make sense at all,
Make it make
but
sense.
it's magical. Flora, you notice you had your conversation with Fred while you shared watch.
Oh no.
Fred normally is very extroverted, not always chatting away, but always tends to be talking to someone in the party. At the moment, he's not talking at all, and he seems to be sort of fiddling with something in his pocket.
Okay, Flora's gonna fall back into step with him. Hey, what's up?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all a bit weird, isn't it?
What, causing the apocalypse? No.
Yeah. Do you think you could look after something for me?
Oh, sure.
Thanks. And he hands you, it seems to be a key ring.
Okay.
It's not attached to any set of keys. It's a key ring, and it seems to be just an old coin attached to a key ring.
Is it a British coin?
It is, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like link my arm with his and be like, you know, you better not be planning on dying on me or anything.
Oh, no, it's just, I'm not... I think if I hold on to that at the moment, I think I might toss it off the side of the tree, and I don't think that will end well, so...
Oh, godly daddy issues. Let me tell you, I'm an expert in those.
Less godly, but sure.
You want to talk about it?
Not really. I think I would need maybe a bottle of tequila to do that.
Wordlessly, she hands him one of those bar minis from her purse.
He takes it, nods, and then properly lifts his arm up so you're properly linking arms, and you walk down the tree.
Cool.
So Loki leads you to the sort of the trunk of the tree. It's taken maybe an hour or so to walk back. Space and time seem very fluid in this place. And as you get to the trunk, you can't really see a way up. Because before you were walking up that... At one point you walked up that strange staircase, then you were with Doulahan, various weird ways you've been travelling, but you can't really see anything to travel here. Then Loki puts their hand on the trunk of the tree, and part of the wood splits open to reveal an ornate archway with sort of scrolls carved into the wood around it, and it's beautiful. And again, it's that strange black, not fluid, but that strange black void it was like when you first entered Idrisil. Do you walk through?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the sky again, you guys.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know, I'm kind of... This place is pretty interesting. Don't get me wrong, I have been afraid for my entire life, the entire time we've been here, but... You gotta admit, it's kind of cool. No?
I guess it's not so bad.
Just me. Oh, good.
Flora's gonna put a step through the portal and go turn back to Elspeth as she doesn't go, no!
Ah, you got me.
As she phases through.
Right, I'm coming. And I'll step through as well.
Again, as you step through, it's that weird, it's not liquid, but you can feel it pushing against you as you walk through this strange air. You don't really know how to describe it, this strange thing. And as you sort of almost break through this barrier, you seem to be just on a street in a downtown area of an American city. And one by one, you will break through this barrier.
Is this Washington, guys? Are we... This
I
isn't
don't
Washington.
think this is Washington.
It seems flatter.
Kind of turned to Loki.
Does this look like Washington to you guys?
I've only been to 2 American cities. Okay.
Same.
I've been to New York and I've been to Washington. That's about it. I don't...
Same except San Francisco and Washington.
Yeah, you're gonna see much less tourists here.
Wait, where are we?
Yeah. Cleo, you recognise this place.
Yeah, this is Detroit.
Hi Scions, Am here with your little ad break. Unfortunately, again, we don't have any ads to run today. However, if you are a podcast or you have a business or anything that you would like to swap promotional material with, then please just give us a shout on our Twitter or Instagram at RWD_pod or on our email at rwdpodcastcontact@gmail.com. That's rwdpodcastcontact@gmail.com. And if you're interested in joining our community or hearing a bunch of other opportunities, well, you might just have to listen to the end of the episode. Okay, I can't wait to see what happens next. I'll catch you on the other side. Bye!
I'm sorry. Why are we in Detroit? It seems nice, don't get me wrong. Like, I like the, that building is good.
Aretha Franklin's from Detroit.
Oh, that's fun.
My one Detroit fact,
That's a good fact. I like that fact.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're full of good facts today.
Aw.
I mean, that's your first one, but it's still good.
So is pretty much every, blues singer worth a damn from,
So we hear
the 70s, 80s onwards.
Music history? Is this the next part of the apocalypse? I'm open to all things at this point. I've given up understanding what was happening, so...
I would ask the god, man.
Hey, I don't want to call them the
Loki?
god.
There's something here I think one of you needs to see. As they say that, walking down the street, you see on the other side of the road, it's quite a wide road, quite a busy sort of downtown road. Across the other side of the road, you see a family walking. Cleo. It's a little odd looking at the three of them together, but
Jesus Christ.
It's a very, very attractive woman. Sort of looks very similar to Cleo, but older. Maybe going a little grey in places, sort of crow's feet laughter lines around the eyes, but very, very sort of statuesque, very attractive woman. She's holding hands with a little girl, maybe 10 years old, sort of two big, bushy, sort of top-knot, high-tail things, sort of wearing a pink coat, hand in hand with this woman, and hand in hand with a man. Sort of maybe once was very attractive, but sort of hit middle age, maybe put on a little bit of weight. But they're walking down the road, and the girl in the middle is sort of swinging between the two adults. And Cleo, you recognise these people. It is your mum, your sister,
Yes.
and your high school coach.
No.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Sorry, I said that in the character voice. That should not have been the character voice. How far away? How far away from us are they?
Not very far.
Sorry.
They're pretty much walking past on the other side of the road, so maybe 20, 30 feet away.
Okay, is there anywhere we can hide?
There's no way you could hide. If you walk a little bit either way, you might be able to duck down a road, like a side road.
Yeah, Claire's just gonna start walking and try to keep this group of 5 strange looking people between herself and her family.
I would like you to please roll me cunning survival. No, cunning subterfuge. Cunning subterfuge.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask, do we notice that Cleo is looking at these people, or that she looks like her mother?
Yeah.
How actively does Cleo react?
Very quickly, she literally goes, Jesus Christ, and then just turns and starts walking. So, I've got 3 successes, by the way.
So I reckon you guys do notice that Cleo's... You don't know what Cleo's reacted to. She's reacted to something, and she is trying to herd you all away.
Okay, I follow.
Where are we go? Okay.
She seems stressed.
Yeah.
Just
I can-
somewhere
I can see
else,
that.
very quickly.
Yeah, let's go.
What happened?
This way that we're going. What's up? Is everything okay?
Yeah, that's my mom, and that's my sister, and that's Coach D, who's holding hands with my sister for some reason.
Wait, and who's the other person?
What did you get, Will?
3 successes.
Okay. As you almost make it, you've sort of ushered everyone around. You're almost about to hit around this side street,
Yes.
and you look back over your shoulder, and you make direct eye contact with your mum.
No.
Yes!
And she sort of does a double take, waves, you know, sort of, Cleo! And what do you do?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Cleo's going to wave back and feign like total surprise.
Your mum sort of gestures to the other two, who both turn and see you. The coach looks, not gonna lie, a little awkward, but your little sister makes eye contact with you. Her eyes go wide with excitement, and she starts bouncing in place. And
I'm gonna wave at her as well and walk back at the back up the street towards them, and as loudly as possible without the parents hearing, just go, if any of you embarrass me at all, I will kill you, okay?
I don't think you would be capable of that, but...
I'm gonna put my hand on Cleo's shoulder, and just as we reach the other side, I go, don't worry, I got this.
Don't you dare.
As we approach them before Cleo can speak, I want to go, Mrs. Brewer, oh, it's such a pleasure to meet you. You know, Cleo was here to surprise you, but I guess you figured us out before we arrived.
your mum sort of puts her hand on her heart and goes, oh, that's so sweet, but darling, come here. And she grabs you, Cleo, just like the biggest hug, sort of almost lifts you off your feet. And as she does so, you just then feel arms around one leg.
Ali, hi.
Hi,
and
how
sort
are
of
you?
Coming out of the embrace, like pick up Ali and like spin her around.
How are you? How are you?
I'm
how are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. I missed
It's
you.
been so long. Why aren't you home more? And she like starts pouting a little bit.
It's a long way.
I know.
Yeah.
You should come home more.
I wish I was more though. Yeah, I would. I know. I said I would.
Yeah, good.
But I'm
And then
here
she,
now. You
As
know?
you've picked her up, she sort of gets both arms, so quite awkwardly, so like around your head, and just sort of like not letting go.
Okay. You're pulling my hair. You're pulling my hair now.
Sorry,
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. And just like try to unentangle those fingers. Yeah. So. Hi, Coach D. What's up?
Hello, Cleo. How are you? How has university been going?
Yeah. No. I mean, can't complain. I'm sure you heard the news about the new point guard in Georgetown, but we could talk all day, so let's not do that. What are you doing here with Mom and Ellie?
Okay, I will let your mom explain that. You remember Coach quite well. He's a very sweet man. He, really, really wants all the people he coaches to do well, and he works really hard at that. So, and you do remember him quite fondly from school. And your mum he looks very awkward at the moment. Your mum blushes a bit and sort of smooths her dress down and sort of goes,
Okay. Can I roll to see if I've got any
yes,
idea?
you can.
At all?
If you want to roll to see
Okay.
if you can think you figure out what's going on, I would like you to roll. Ooh. Presence empathy.
Can we roll for fun as well?
Okay. Yeah, I've got 2. No, 1
Okay,
success.
so you're pretty sure you think you know what's going on here, which is they're dating, and your mum hasn't told you yet. And your mum, she sort of blushes a bit, smooths her dress out, and sort of gathers you into like an embrace again, and just sort of puts her hands on your shoulders. Okay. So, Cleo, darling, I was going to tell you, but I wanted to wait until we knew what was happening when I saw you next. But Dee and I have started dating. It's going well. I was gonna tell you when I next saw you. But yeah, I'm very happy. And I hope that we could all be happy together.
Cleo rolls her eyes very, dramatically at that last one. And she's going to sort of turn slightly and kind of squat down next to Ali and go, "So, Ali, how do you feel about this?
Ooh, cold.
Are you happy?"
Dee always brings me extra oranges when I do sport.
Mm-hmm.
So I always get another one than all the other girls, which is nice.
That's good. I mean, you're always better than me, though. Okay. We're in the middle of the street, so I don't want to talk about this now. This is back to her mum, sorry.
That's understandable.
But, yeah. We're both adults, yeah?
We are. Oh, it's been too long, darling. And again, pulls you into an embrace.
Alright. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't introduce you. This is Elspeth. She's British.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You have a lovely town.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
I don't know how to take that from there.
Flora goes.
Yeah, and this is oh, sorry, it's completely sorry. This is Flora.
Flora turns her head so Mrs. Brewer can't see and mouths "you B word" to Cleo.
Yeah.
Censorship.
I know. It's what is it? B percentage ampersand $ asterisk.
Yeah, exactly that.
We use our comic book swearing.
Yeah.
And then there's Fred. He's Flora's boyfriend, and
Fred
Flora,
very
again, is,
awkwardly waves at that.
Just death glaring at Cleo.
and then there's Professor Manison and his friend as well from the university. We're on a trip here, and I just thought we'd come and surprise you. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful, darling. What kind of trip you all on?
An educational one.
Yeah, with learning.
Yeah, we're actually here to learn about, even though, my speciality was in history and Ellie's here is in ancient mythology, we're actually here to learn about, ancient mythology and its intersection with zoology, which is, of course, Cleo's focus is a veterinary studies major. In fact, Ellie, right? Do you want to meet a puppy?
Sorry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ellie.
Yeah, so we're focusing on mainly on the history part. I'm not sure what that other thing Laura was talking
sorry,
about
I misspoke.
was.
Zoology was my major. History. Obviously, Cleo's more focused on history. But I wanted to see if Ellie wanted to meet our animal companion for our trip.
You mean Ali, right?
Allie.
It's Ali,
I was
yeah.
like, I've met
I
the
wanted
dog.
to hear. I wanted to know if Allie wanted to meet our animal companion for the trip, and I gestured to Fenrir, who's presumably still strapped in a baby
Yep.
Bjorn.
Yep. Ali looks again the widest eyes and just like tugs at her mum's hand. It's like, can I, please, I want to pet the doggy. And Cassandra, your Cleo's just like, okay, picks Ali up a bit so she's at the same level as Fenrir.
Nice.
And
Don't worry, he won't bite you. He only bites girls that don't do their homework and don't eat their vegetables. So you'll be fine,
I've
right?
been eating all my vegetables. Even the broccoli. And I don't like broccoli. It's not nice.
You're right, broccoli's gross.
Yay! Mom! Mom! She said it's gross, so I have to keep eating it?
I am not legally tied to a partner or guardian, so I can do whatever you want. You're stuck for another 8 years, miss.
No. And then reaches out, doesn't, sort of pats Fenrir a little bit awkwardly head, and Fenrir just, wiggles, and then it's like, ah, ah, ah. And Ali is enchanted with the dog.
As she should be.
As this is all happening, sort of Cassandra passes Ali over to D to hold to keep playing with the puppy, and she sort of pulls you to the side, Cleo. Is everything okay? You seem a little different.
What do you mean different? It's still me,
I
Mom.
know it's still you. And she sort of puts her hands on your shoulders and sort of ducks down a bit. She is a bit taller than you. And sort of looks into your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you found something else?
Found something.
Cleo. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who is it?
We met at like a party.
Eyes narrow a little bit.
But like she's really nice and
I'm
everything.
sure she is. Who is it? Who be who I think it is.
I don't think you know who it is at all, probably.
Try me.
So she's like from Europe somewhere. So her
Europe?
It's like a weird name. Yeah. She's called Hel, but it's like a weird name.
Oh,
know?
I think we're having two different conversations.
like-
I'm glad you've met someone, darling. That's so lovely.
Oh, I fully thought that's where you were going with that, Luce. I'm sorry. I thought that was a weird tangent for you to go down, but yeah.
No. Oh, it's so lovely that you've met someone. No, I'm talking about the other person.
I've got no idea what you're talking about, Luce.
Your mum raises an eyebrow. Goes, maybe someone not so human? What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Well, I found her as like a stray. Like she actually came into my room, so.
Who sent her?
Sent her?
Was it Sekhmet or Bast?
Ah!
What?
Sorry.
What? Do
What?
we... Luce, this is where you say the thing.
That's I feel like that is a good
We
episode.
can end
Unless
there.
you've got something else.
Yeah, you gotta say... You can say it. Say the thing.
And that is where we'll be ending today's episode.
What is going on?
What?
Ah!
What is going on?
Ah! Sincerely, what?
Yep.
What? Looks like I'm not the only one who'll be having Daughter of Unchosen in my title.
Chosen.
Sorry. My usual end of session little spiel has been completely thrown off because this is the first time I've been rendered almost totally speechless. A, in the last 10 years, but B, specifically on this podcast.
I've never rendered you speechless. I'm offended.
Wow. Okay, no flirting on the podcast.
Ew.
That's one of the rules.
Okay.
Not while not in my
I do wanna
not
say-
in my delicate ears.
Can we
Yeah,
talk
but
about
if-
how Luce made Cleo's mum a MILF? Just because I want to talk about that for like a
Yeah.
second.
Oh,
That's
I would
canon.
like
That wasn't
I would
even
like
in-
Will to
Okay.
share the image he sent me of Cleo's mum in the group chat, so you
What
can
was
see
the
what I
image?
was
Oh,
working
yes, please.
with.
This will be posted on
Uh,
our Discord and social media.
Luce asked me for a character description,
So you said MILF.
totally out
Yeah.
of nowhere. It's just a character that I thought of from Left 4 Dead 2.
Who?
Yeah.
I need a picture, Will.
Yeah.
So this is what you've
it's
been
a
looking
GIF,
at. So
so-
very much yes, a MILF. Will made his
It's-
mum canonically hot.
God bless.
Not intentionally.
Cleo's mom has got it
going
going on.
That's gonna be out of sync, isn't
Uh,
it?
I'll sync it, don't worry.
Thank you.
Almost certainly. Yeah, we'll fix it in post. It's
We'll
fine.
fix it in post.
We will definitely be doing that. Yeah.
Yes, we will be fixing it in post. Not
We will fix
Am
everything
on
in
her
post,
own.
won't we?
Throws up peace.
The thingy is just posting, so we'll talk about this for a bit, and then we'll do our actual
Yes.
episode end. Like, we're not just insane crazy people.
Oh, she's
This is a
really
character I thought
hot.
from
Yeah,
Left 4 Dead.
She's really hot,
Yeah.
Will.
Yup. Sorry.
It's fine. I mean, Flora's gonna tease Cleo about that forever and ever now. I just think you should know that.
Yeah. Like, we haven't done PvP yet, but
It could happen.
If anyone is going to PvP the rest of the party members, it will be Cleo starting it.
Mm.
And it will be
Yes,
Flora
in
happily
fact.
getting her ass beat for saying something she should not have. It was totally worth it.
Goodbye.
I don't think there is much serious risk of actual PvP in our lovely podcast. But just in case there is, that's really something you want to keep up to date with. Which, of course, you can do by checking us out on Twitter and Instagram at RWD_pod. And if you want to stay tuned for the most recent episodes or go back and enjoy some of our past episodes, including one-shots, more on that to come, you can, of course, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Acast, or wherever else you get your lovely audio content at A Rendezvous with Destiny. Until then, I'm going to be furiously messaging Luce and finding out just exactly why they did this to my
Yeah,
backstory.
we've got some spice coming up for you here. There's a little.
So,
This has been
Right.
planned for a long time.
Ooh.
as much as
Yep.
you've enjoyed all the content in today's episode, if you like content, that's me. You can find me in a couple other places. The first place is Deck of Many Aces, which is an actual play 5e podcast with actual asexuals. We release on the off week that RWD doesn't, so if you miss me so much you can't deal without me for 2 weeks, you can come find me there. If you also like what I do and my editing skills and so on and so forth, guess what? There's an opportunity to maybe work with me if you'd like to do that, which is me and one of our close friends of the podcast have been writing an audio drama, which we're hoping to release in a few months. If you are interested and you'd like to submit your voice to do some voice acting, joining perhaps the cast of this podcast, although I haven't asked all of them if they want to voice act for me, you should keep an eye on the RWD social media, because hopefully hopefully we will be releasing some audition calls for certain roles. You should also keep an eye on our social media if you want to submit us questions for the Q&A. We'd love to hear from you. Please ask us questions. We want to talk about ourselves. That's all from me.
And our
Or about
podcast,
Yes,
of course.
characters,
and that. Whatever.
Luce, you do have something which might be coming out soon with a friend of the podcast,
Yes.
is that correct?
Yes, I guested on a one-shot. I can't remember its name.
Brain Adventures Hollywood Nights.
I guessed on, which is Brain Adventures Hollywood Nights, which should be coming out in the near future, so keep an eye on that. I play a himbo
Good.
Yeah, just essentially big dumb himbo. It's a good time. I hit things. It was fun.
A little insight into Luce's style as a player, not
My
a
style as a
DM.
player, I always play
I know.
pirate
I
himbos.
hope you're enjoying
Pirate
that.
himbos.
It's brilliant.
My single type of character.
Editor of Brain Adventures and friend of the podcast, Logan, sent me a picture of all the PCs and was like, can you guess which one is Luce's? And I was like, oh, it's very clearly this one.
It's very
the-
clearly the tall ginger idiot. Yes.
Yeah.
We love.
It's Fred, but for D&D.
Yeah,
Fred,
if
but
you
big
if
ginger
you
boy.
listen back to any of the one shots I've guested in, you'll notice that I play the same character just in different settings.
It's always a good time.
Yes. This material is unofficial and is not endorsed by Onyx Path. We are claiming no ownership over Onyx Path intellectual properties, game systems, art or stories, which remain the properties of the rights holders. All characters, names and locations used are either public domain or are entirely fictional and bear no intended resemblance to their real life counterparts. If you have any legal issues, please contact us directly.